Well, it's over, Commander. The rebels have been routed and are fleeing into the forest. Yeah, welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. Thought I'd show off my AT-ST here. This is the classic Return of the Jedi toy, and it's actually kind of from The Empire Strikes Back as well. Let me move because I think I'm probably in the shot here. Yes, this is the all-terrain scout transport, AT-ST. Doesn't quite roll off the tongue as nicely as the AT-AT does, the all-terrain armored transport, but what can you do? It's a pretty cool toy, and I really like how they built a lot of the functionality of what must have been a very complicated model into something that's quite playable. I mean, you can see here, the thing is standing up on its own. Okay, we're on a little bit of a hill here, so it may not manage, but there we go. It can stand in various positions. That's really cool. I like the fact that the head swivels. This gun is a little bent over time, but not too bad. One inaccurate thing that Kenner did not do properly here is one of these is a gun, and the other one is like a little radar scope scanner thing, something like that. Kenner just stuck guns in both spots, so that's okay. Also, I'll show you in a second, inside here, there's room for one driver. And anyone who's seen the film knows there's supposed to be two of them in there, so that's fine though, it's a scale issue. Move to another angle here so you can see what I mean, but yeah, there's room for one driver inside there. Should definitely be a spot for two. Also, on the front of the vehicle, these are, I guess, little windows. 9 times out of 10, you always see these flipped up. And that's kind of the way the AT-ST appears. Almost gives it like eyeballs, but on the toy version, because it's all closed up, it's got little stickers there to indicate these are supposed to be like, you know, riveted armor panels. It doesn't quite look the same as the one that appears in Return of the Jedi. But that's fine, because the one that appears in Return of the Jedi, I think, isn't quite what you see in The Empire Strikes Back anyway. Here, I'm going to show, this is the AT-ST scene in The Empire Strikes Back, and this is the AT-ST scene in Return of the Jedi. It's had some modifications. It's a slightly different looking vehicle. Now earlier I showed that walking action of the legs. That's actually operated back here. You've got a little slider, and essentially all you do, this is it in the locked position, so the vehicle will stand up. If I unlock it here, you see how there's like a button in this section? Unlocking that raises that up, and all I have to do is push that button and the legs do this kind of a thing. And that's great, because that's what a lot of kids want to do, is have their chicken walker going around doing its thing, and this button works fantastic. I've had this thing since 1983, and it's still going strong. Now, to put the legs back into their original position, you kind of push the button down, if I can. You push down, not quite all the way as I thought, about halfway, and then it locks into place. You can even make out, I hope, it says stand and walk right there. That's pretty cool. Again, for what is a very complicated vehicle, and something that I'm sure the animators had a lot of fun trying to do, this toy worked out really well for kids to be able to play with. As I say, mine is an original from the 80s, and it's had better days, although it's still pretty functional. One thing that was interesting when I got it out of storage, this little flap was actually missing. Could not locate that anywhere, so I had to actually order that on eBay. Luckily, it only cost me a couple bucks, so that was pretty good. And I'm very happy because it means my AT-ST is back restored in one piece. Here comes the ultimate test for the AT-ST. Can Chewbacca swing in on his vine, land on top, and then get the driver out? Probably, I would say. Let's just flip that open, yank the driver out, and away he goes. Anybody ever think that was odd? Off you go. Ah! Anybody ever think it was odd that Chewbacca is actually doing a Tarzan yell in that particular sequence? I mean, for people who joke or who comment that Last Jedi had way too much humor in it, even Return of the Jedi had tongue-in-cheek humor, like Chewbacca yelling like Tarzan as he swings across. It's worth noting he also had a couple of Ewoks with him, but I'm not going to try and do all of that. That's a bit complex here. Alright, well, I'm going to take my ATST and mosey on out of here. Let's go look for some more rebels. Used to do that in Star Wars Battlefront too. Man, this vehicle was a real bane of existence in Star Wars Battlefront. Alright, until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.